Welcome to the Heal Yourself podcast, where we dive deep into all things healing. I'm Denise, a speech language pathologist and a self-love coach for adults and teens.
And I'm Kira, a traditional naturopath and functional nutritionist, and we're here to guide you through the transformative process of healing your body, mind, and soul.
From the latest in functional medicine to nurturing your relationship with yourself, healing trauma, and even transforming your money story, we're here to empower you with the knowledge and tools to create lasting change.
So whether you're looking to heal physically, emotionally, or spiritually, join us as we explore the many paths to wholeness and wellness.
Welcome to another episode. We're both here today to talk about circadian rhythm. Circadian, sorry, I said circadium.
Couldn't even tell.
Rhythm. And I think this topic is very dear to your heart, and also because it's daylight savings time. And I'm going to be very honest, I do not like it. I know that I give up complaining for Lent, but I need to put that on the side and say I do not like it.
I don't either. And that's why when I messaged Denise this morning, because guys, sometimes we come up with ideas on the whim and sometimes we just know exactly what we would want to talk about for weeks in advance. But I was like, this freaking daylight savings time is killing me. It was so hard to get up. Yesterday was just an annoyance because it's Sunday, there's no alarm clock, but I'm annoyed that I lost an hour of sleep. And then this morning, it was so hard to get up.
Yep. So if you are having trouble getting up, and just take it easy. I'm going to step in right now before we talk about circadian rhythm and say, be gentle with yourself this week. So that I even told myself, I'm going to go to yoga tomorrow because the yoga that I go to is restorative and it's really slow. So it really slows me down and I need that in my life. But honestly, I'm going to skip spin. I'm not going to put pressure on my body. I'm not going to put things that are just, I'm going to take it easy and be very compassionate with myself. And if today, I cut my morning routine short because I wanted to sleep, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. So if you feel like you want to do that, take it easy on yourself. But just for this week, don't keep saying week after week after week. If you are the person who will fall back into the abyss after if you give yourself compassion for 1 week, and don't do that. But I know that I can get back up. So yeah.
Although by the time they listen to this episode, it's going to be the end of the week.
That's true.
But that's okay. You know what? It's still solid advice because it's what we talk to our clients about, right?
Yeah.
And you talk to your self-love students about. You still have to do that throughout times of it doesn't just have to be daylight savings. There can be something stressful that happens in your life. There can be something traumatic. There can be a massive shift somewhere. And maybe you just need to take it easy and listen to your body.
Exactly. And then also listening to the body without guilting yourself. And I do notice that sometimes, we do listen to our body, but wait, but workout makes me feel better. I'm I know it does, but right now your body just needs to rest for a minute. So I feel that. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, let's get it into the daylight savings time.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I feel 99% of our episodes so far are very spiritual, which I love. But once in a while, we're going to throw in that clinical piece, like we said in episode 1. And this is one of those because I think this is something that impacts everyone. And you and I are always talking about the mind-body connection. Yes, the body impacts the mind greatly, but also the body impacts the mind. If you're not paying attention to anything that's going on in your physical body, do you really expect spiritually, emotionally, all of that is going to be, optimal? No, probably not.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the circadian, what is it? Because I know some people be what are you talking about? Denise barely can say the words. And, I have an accent too. I have an accent too, guys. If you're making fun of me for that, it's fine. I love it. I embrace it now. I hated it back then. I hated it when I came to the US. Because the minute I opened my mouth, they're where are you from? I'm really? Can't you just say hello? How are you?
You're I'm from here. You can't tell.
Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, circadian rhythm in a nutshell is just the body's internal clock. It's as simple as that. But sometimes when people hear circadian rhythm, they're oh, okay, you mean just go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. It's well, that's a small piece of it. It's not all. So we're definitely going to talk about that. But our circadian clock, that internal, rhythm regulates sleep, but also hormones and digestion and mood. So when we're disrupting it with things like crappy sleep, irregular sleep, we can dive into those, late night eating, artificial light, we're going to start to impact that circadian rhythm. And Denise, you may have questions here. Not going to call you out for your sleep schedule, but poor sleep
You are
is
not calling me out. She's totally calling me out, like totally, because she knows what.
well, let's talk about the poor sleep because,
Okay, let's talk
you
about the
know,
first. I
people
do
some
sleep. What are you talking about?
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like disrupted sleep. And right,
Yes.
so sometimes people think like, "Oh my gosh, I wake 3 times a night to go pee." Yeah, that's a disruption and that can be another conversation. But I'm also talking about like if you go to bed tonight at 10 p.m., but then last night it was 3 a.m. and the night before was 1 a.m., that's a disruption. That's completely throwing off circadian rhythm because
Yes.
the body has a clock and it likes to follow that rhythm. So I'm just saying this for people that have like crazy
Oh,
sleep
can I
schedules.
throw it in there?
Yeah.
And guess what? Now that you said that, again, that our body has a clock, and it just made sense right now to me because the clock, like the clock that's created by humans, it makes mistakes,
Hmm.
whereas your internal clock with your body doesn't.
Hmm.
So that's why it's really important to pay attention to that internal clock.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's like an aha moment right now.
I'm so glad.
Wow. No,
Well,
seriously, because you know how like we say time was created by men, like Monday, Tuesday,
hmm.
Friday, Sunday, 1 hour, 2 hours, were created by human beings, and and but internally we always know what to do,
Yeah.
right? So that's why it's important to rely on that circadian rhythm and help the outside from
Yeah.
the inside.
And I'm not saying that literally by the clock, like 12 o'clock on the dot, I have to eat my lunch. And it's 12:35, I'm done with my lunch and I'm going to do this. Like we're not talking about that. But in general, you should be following a rhythm for everything. We go to
Okay.
bed at this time or maybe within a 30-minute window. We wake up at the same time, or maybe that 30-minute window. We eat our meals at the same time. We poop at the same time. Like, truly,
Ah,
if you
that
look at
makes
it,
sense because that more like a rhythm, like nature's
yes,
rhythm, right?
that's,
So that's really important to so many aha moments. Oh my goodness, like
hmm.
I okay, so it's kind of like right. So we have an internal clock, and it's really important to just follow that, but not to be rigid, not to have the rigid thinking of
Yeah.
12 o'clock, 1:30. If I'm eating at 1:35, uh-oh, I'm
Yeah.
doing something wrong. No, but I love how you said that time frame, like around that time.
Hmm.
Okay, so if you go to bed, if you are going to bed at 10:30 instead of like 10:15, that's okay.
It's
Like it's
okay.
that, yes.
But
But not 10 and then midnight
yeah,
and then 9 and then
yeah,
midnight again and then 1 or 2. Kind of like you're messing up the rhythm of nature.
you are. And
Yeah.
again, when you're doing that, now you're impacting your hormones. So, sex hormones, cortisol, your mood, like all of the things are impacted. And a lot of times people just think, oh, it's just impacting my sleep. It's like, well,
Okay.
no, it goes deeper than that. Even our gut follows its own circadian rhythm. So I wasn't joking when I said poop at the same time. Like, that's one thing. We've got the meal timing. If we're disrupting that, it's going to lead to bloating. We can slow down digestion. We can get dysbiosis, which is a fancy term for an imbalance or overgrowth of gut flora. So everything follows this rhythm. In fact, gosh, there was a book I read a few years ago. I'm pulling it up on my Kindle. Circadian something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, there's a book. If I can find it, I'll recommend it and put it in the show notes. But it was all about circadian rhythm. I actually need to read this again because it's been a long time. Um, but I know there's one on circadian rhythm that's good. So,
Yeah.
another thing to be thinking about, and this is something that most people struggle with, is natural light. So, think about morning routine. So, like average person or you, like what do they do in the morning when they wake up?
What do I do in the morning when I wake up?
Or the
I drink
average
water.
person. Okay.
Oh, well, when I wake up, I go downstairs. I drink, well, sometimes I pee. I pee, I go downstairs, drink water, and start my morning routine. Or like today, for example, I immediately started meditating.
Okay.
So it's just like mostly like I don't know, sometimes I meditate in bed, sometimes I meditate downstairs, but I do have like either I go down, drink water, and then start my morning routine. I pee, but
Do you
pee,
turn
go
on
down, drink.
lights?
No.
You don't turn
I
on.
do.
Okay.
No. What, do I turn on the lights?
Yeah.
No. No,
Okay.
because I go downstairs.
And you stay
And
in the
when I
dark.
go pee pee, I just, yeah, no, it's not the dark because there's the natural lights. The bathroom has skylight, like a skylight.
Okay.
So it's not
Okay.
like I'm bumping into things. And it's not too dark because our blinds are lighter so I can see. So I never get up. And then I have the pink lights from the salt lamp.
Hmm.
And the bathroom does have LED lights that are like, whatever. So I just go in. No, I pee in the dark. And when I go downstairs, we turn on the blue light because when we set up the house, there's the blue light and there's the bright light. So when I turn it on, if I need to, so I can read, it's the blue light that I turn on.
Interesting. We can talk about that. Um, but
But don't turn on the light, right? That's tip number one?
yes and no. So here's the thing. Most people, like, seriously, if we look at the average person, they hit their alarm clock maybe more than once to wake up, right? Their body doesn't naturally wake them up. They turn over and they start scrolling their cell phone or they check emails, right? Then they get up and they do their stuff. They use the restroom, brush their teeth, but lights start going on. And sometimes that's all too stimulating because in the morning, our cortisol should rise. That's what wakes us up. And our
Okay.
melatonin should drop, just like, evening would be the opposite, obviously. So in the morning, yes, we want things stimulating, but we don't want it so much that now we're creating anxiety in the morning. So
Okay.
we want like a calming routine. So like what you're doing is nice.
Yeah, but
But
then, and again, if you're listening, if someone's listening to this and saying, "Oh my goodness," like no, but I wasn't like that. I wish you told me. I mean,
mm,
I should have answered the question my previous me. Yes, I would scroll on the phone and and
mm,
then my husband would turn on the lights. Now it's completely different, but also because he's doing the work and I'm doing the work, so it's kind of like it's just different.
yeah.
But yeah, like just kind of don't scroll your phone. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And or like open your blinds and look at your lights and then turn on and then go down.
Yes. So that's the thing. Natural light in the morning, so sunlight, is going to regulate that cortisol, melatonin, even our neurotransmitters, so our mood, energy levels. And so, what we want to do in the morning is get some natural light. So, ideally, step outside. Truly, like get
Yeah.
outside for 1 or 2 minutes before you do anything. Drink your water outside, do your meditation outside. I don't care, but stepping outside is going to really be helpful. And so sometimes people will say, well, can I just open the blinds? Yeah, but it's blocking some of that natural
I
light that's
see. I
coming
see.
through.
Okay.
And you can step outside, rain or shine. Like, I'm not saying to go outside if it's downpouring on you, but like if there's somewhere you can stand, we've got what is it called?
Yeah.
Like an overhang where I'm not going to get wet
Yeah.
if it's raining or snowing or whatever, and I will get some light. That is one of the best things you can do. And it's so funny. When I tell my clients to do that, I'm always amazed at how many will come back to me and say, like, I did it for a week straight and I have more energy. Is that normal? I'm like, yeah.
Oh, well, I want to try it now. Just instead of just like when I go downstairs, then just to open the yard and just go out for a
Just
minute.
step out there for a minute.
Yeah.
Drink
Before
your water
I
and step out
before
there.
I drink my water, etc. Oh, cool, cool,
Or
cool.
bring it with you. I take my water outside and I drink my water out there.
Yeah.
And it's quick. I'm not out there for 5 minutes in the morning, guys. I'm talking like if you can get 90 seconds, I'm pretty happy. And then if you can get out there later, obviously, we still need more light. um, that's going to be super helpful. What else was I going to say about that? There was something else. Oh, you mentioned not turning on the lights. Maybe. So if you're someone that wakes up after sunrise, right? The sun's already up, natural light's
Hmm.
already coming in through the house. You probably don't need to turn on lights. But if you need to turn on lights or the sun hasn't even risen, for my people that work early jobs and now with daylight savings, like I got up this morning and I'm like, ugh, the sun's not even
Yeah.
up yet.
I know.
I put on my orange glasses and then I turn on the lights because The orange is going to be more natural and it's not going to create that instant, like, boom, spike my cortisol levels.
Mm. Yeah, I
My husband
know.
makes fun of me that I put on my orange glasses in the morning.
It's fine. Whatever. It's working for you. Talk to us about the gut microbiome a little bit.
I mean, just like anything else, it follows its own circadian rhythm, right? And so many people are doing things that aren't supportive. And this is what's so funny is when we talk about gut health, everyone thinks it's got like, oh, I got to do fiber, I got to take a prebiotic, a probiotic. Well, what's the perfect gut healing protocol? And we forget about all the basic foundational pieces that actually hold a lot of weight. Like you can follow the best protocol, but if you're not even paying attention to circadian rhythm, don't expect results. So, what I mean by that is if you're snacking right before bed, that's gonna impact circadian rhythm, right? Like digestion's happening, so you're not supposed to fall asleep. So now we're impacting sleep. Or
Right,
if you're,
exactly.
yeah, skipping meal, Denise, skipping meals, that's gonna impact.
Mm-mm. He says that because I do.
Yeah,
I skip breakfast.
I know you
I
do.
skip
I know.
breakfast and I can eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Um,
another episode.
that might be. I have mixed thoughts on that. But it's the same thing. Like we need to be paying attention to circadian rhythm because it's going to impact gut. So it's not just the gut that has its own rhythm, but the light signaling, all of that plays a role. Like there's some interesting research on light signaling. So, morning sunlight and sunlight appropriately throughout the day and minimizing the artificial lights, that it plays a massive role in the gut microbiome. And I read a study, what is it? The gut microbiome actually posted this on Facebook and got a lot of comments, but the lining of the microbiome can replace itself every 2 to 5 days with proper light signaling.
Oh
So it's not a
wow. So that means
supplement.
that you can heal it. And that's another thing
Yes.
too. Let's go back to the spiritual side that your
Mhm.
body knows what to do. You just got to trust it more and give it the tools, right?
Yeah.
So the tools of like, yeah, thank you for reminding me. I gave up snacking for Lent, so that's amazing.
Yeah.
So can we start with some tips? So,
Yes.
because we talked a lot about that. So the first one is to get morning sunlight ASAP to reset your melatonin production. And this is kind of like you
100%.
said, open the front door, go outside for a minute, drink your water or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, or like in my case, maybe the yard or whatever it is.
Yeah, stick your head out the window. I don't care. The
Yeah.
other thing I'm going to suggest, there's an app called Circadian Life or my Circadian Life. Download it. It's a free app. It'll tell you when to get that morning sunlight, when sun rises, when UVA rises.
Oh,
It's
wow.
easy.
Nice. All right. And number two, this is Kira's favorite, but I'm going to talk about it because she's been saying a lot about circadian circadian rhythm. Prioritize protein in the morning to stabilize
Hmm.
blood sugar and energy. This is meaning do not drink coffee in the morning because coffee is not protein unless it has protein in it. Eat at the same time to avoid metabolic confusion. And it's not like rigid time, just be flexible, kind of like what you said at the time frame.
Yeah.
And do you mind kind of because someone hearing this going to be like, excuse me, I drink my coffee in the morning. So what do you
Mm.
recommend that someone does if this is their case?
So I drink coffee too, but you need to eat. If you're doing coffee on an empty stomach, that's slapping your adrenal glands. I don't love
Okay.
it. The research isn't great for it. Now, granted, do I think that everyone is slightly different? Sure. If you're monitoring your labs and how you feel and you feel amazing by having coffee first thing in the morning and your labs are amazing, your blood sugar's great, then keep at it. But if you're struggling at all with health, I would definitely be eating to stabilize blood sugar before you throw in that caffeine.
Got it.
Yeah.
And the final one is avoiding screens. This
Mm,
time we're actually giving you not just to dig deep, we're giving you tips.
right.
Avoid screens at night to prevent further melatonin disruption.
Yeah.
And then I would also say right in the morning, right? Avoiding
Yep.
screen
First thing.
time first thing in the morning. Yes, like and again, it's not just maybe for I mean, it is for the lights and all that, but it's also for your sanity and for your
Hmm.
to continue having an attitude of gratitude. You don't want to look at social media first thing in the morning or at your email.
Yeah.
So,
And at night, like I watch TV. You can still watch TV. However, if you're someone that's struggling with sleep massively and you're falling asleep watching TV, or that's the last thing you do before you go to bed, that might not be serving you. Now it might be you're wearing those orange or red glasses again, because
Mm.
that bright light from the screen is disrupting your circadian rhythm. Or maybe you're someone that can't do screens before bed. I'm okay with it, but not
You can
everyone
switch
is.
to a book.
Yup. Or
And then sometimes
meditation or
switching or
hypnosis.
meditation, yeah, because sometimes switching to a book might help you fall asleep. I know you want to get somewhere with the book, but uh I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else that we want to add
I think those are
that
the
we
key
haven't
things. Go
discussed?
get the app. Truly, download the app, everyone. You just need the free version and pay attention to that.
Remind us again, my circadian
Yeah,
rhythm.
my circadian app. You
My
just need the
circadian
free
app.
version.
Is it on Android or
Yeah,
iPhone and all that? Okay, perfect.
it's on all of
And then
it.
it'll be in the show notes too. And
Yeah.
if you and let us know if you try it. I mean, I'm definitely gonna download it and try it. So if you try it and give us feedback, how is it working for you? Try it for a week or try any of the tips that we gave you.
Hmm.
But it's kind of like we say with all of our spiritual episodes, your body knows what to do and your body follows nature as well. Nature has a rhythm, your body has a rhythm, and let's just follow the rhythm. Life has a rhythm in general. So if we follow life's rhythm and our body's rhythm
And the
and give
moon.
it, and the moon, I know, darn it, we have to talk about the moon now. But Miss Denise has to get off because she needs to test the kiddo.
I know.
That's our life. But anyway, so give us feedback, let us know, and just, be compassionate with yourself. We cannot stress this enough. Like, even when you hear tips from us and you're like, oh my gosh, this is too much,
Hmm.
take it one step at a time because we already maybe a little bit ahead of you. That's all. You know what I mean? Or you may be ahead of us. Just be compassionate with yourself.
Amen to that.
And
All
we'll
right,
see you next
guys.
time.
See you next time.
Bye bye.